What is your name?
My name's Dave Nestler, pinup artist out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right. Dave, we know that you're one of the best female pinup artists around. What are your views about Betty Page?
Well, it was interesting when I first got into the whole pinup market about 12 years ago. I mean, I was aware of Elbrin, I was aware of Vargas and Petty, but I never had really looked into that market that much. It really started when I started doing my research. And I was aware of Betty Page, but I was never that schooled on how much and how much of an impact it was, not only back then, but now, you know, in a more contemporary market, because I consider myself a more contemporary pinup artist as opposed to classic, but I see how much impact she's had on some of even the contemporary pinup artists. And even over my 12 years from when I started to now, it's interesting where, you know, pinup, a lot of people didn't even realize what pinup is, and now I see it on TV all the time. You hear the word pinup, you see it in print, you see it in magazines, you see it in movies. You just see it a lot more now. And like even with the release of the Betty Page movie, and when I was researching other artists like Olivia, Dave Stevens, Jim Silk, you know, and I was seeing all the Betty stuff. It's when I was really more aware of her and the impact she had even in the art community.
With all the painting that you've done, why haven't you chosen to do a Betty piece?
I've had a lot of people ask me to do like my interpretation of a Betty, and my first reaction was people like Olivia and Dave Stevens have done her so well and are so well known for doing that. I kind of look back at about 10 years ago when everyone was painting Julie Strain, and I remember I was asked to do a Julie Strain piece, and for myself, I didn't want to be, she had just put out that book, it was like 100 pieces of Julie Strain art. I just didn't want to be artist number 87. And I kind of look at the Betty Page thing the same way, like I just don't want to be another one, but at the same point, that's why I haven't done her, but at the same point, I would be curious about my interpretation.
And so would everybody else.
I know they would. And I've been, and you know, where for years I've said the same thing about, oh, I think Olivia does it so well. I probably will. I know I will. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things I'll sit down.
Look forward to it.
It'll be one of those things I'll sit down one day and say, okay, I'll block out my next 6 paintings. I got to do it. You know, it'll probably. I guarantee it'll happen.